Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Also streaming live on our Facebook page right now. Just check out Colorado and Company. And hit their 40s, things, it can start to change. And conventional medicine doesn't seem to have the right answers for what they're feeling. So what do? Symptoms associated with aging are likely to crop up for you that are almost impossible to get a handle on, like hormone imbalances, digestive problems, allergies, immune deficiencies, and even management of chronic illnesses. Well, don't give up on feeling good. It's time for a new approach. Many are finding relief and renewed vitality by working with naturopathic Dr. Carrie Louise Donnell. It's always nice to have you here.
Wonderful to be here.
Doctor, what happens to our bodies as we approach 40?
You know, the truth is that it doesn't stay the same and it doesn't get better, and that's just the way it goes to be a human. And so things like our hormones start to go out of balance, our cellular energy production system, which is truly not only the way we balance weight and feel energy, but the stuff of life for preventing diseases associated with aging and keeping our organs and our tissues healthy. That system starts to slow down, and that's just not good for us. And so as all of these changes start to set in, we start to feel bad in ways that really just don't show up on the tests that we might try to go get from our conventional doctors.
Well, let's go into something that you deal with every day and you help your female patients with every day, hormone imbalance, especially perimenopause. Talk about what kind of symptoms that we feel.
This is a really big deal, Denise, because it's prior to the stage of menopause, and so it looks a little bit invisible to a lot of doctors and patients. But women in their late 30s and early 40s start to have headaches, body pain, sleep disruption, anxiety, depression, and let's face it, irritability that can be a game changer for really important relationships in their lives. So they just start to feel not the best version of themselves, and yet when they go for help, they say, you're fine, there's nothing wrong, the tests say you're not in menopause, or here's an antidepressant, which isn't exactly the problem.
Yeah, exactly, and that affects the entire family. So how can you help?
You know, if you work with bioidentical forms of hormone replacement, you can bring that gentle balance at that early stage. And then with targeted nutritional supplements, you can help those hormones break down in a way that actually reduce risk better than doing nothing at all. So it's a very much a win-win at that stage. And then you get your life back.
You really need to contact Dr. Carrie Louise Donnell and sit down, have a one-on-one. She can go into more information with you, more in depth. The number is 303-399-8050. That's 303-399-8050. Mention Colorado and Company when you do call. Now, from what I understand, you got into naturopathic medicine because in your 20s, you were having some issues. Is that true?
You know, this is a hard thing to go back to because I've been bouncing off the walls healthy and well for 20 years, Denise. But there was a time for about 10 years when I really struggled, and I was very young. And unfortunately, when I sought help for the fatigue and the rashes that were all over my face and arms, the pain all over my body, the brain fog, the increasing sensitivities to foods and pollens and danders that didn't make any sense, there was no test available that could say there was anything wrong with me, and yet everything was wrong with me. And it felt very discouraging and not very hopeful, and I used to wonder, like, what's going to happen to me and who's going to take care of me? I'm only in my 20s, and am I going to be able to work until I'm retirement age? Unfortunately, but in a way it was almost a weird relief.
Right.
I was eventually diagnosed then with 2 different autoimmune diseases. Now I have a diagnosis, Denise, but that's not very exciting either. They're not considered curable, and the treatments sometimes are worse than the disease. And so I happened to be in naturopathic medical school where I was surrounded by the science of treat the cause natural strategies that allowed me to figure out how to rebuild my health from the ground up. And it took me about a year, and it was a lot of nutritional supplements, of course, not covered by insurance or anything like that. It never is. But I made that investment, and I got my life back 20 years ago, and I was done, and I went on with living my life.
It's worth the investment. Now, here's something extremely impressive. You helped a financial advisor, well-renowned Daniel Pico, and I understand he was at the Mayo Clinic. He had a respiratory illness. They said, sorry, we did everything we could do for you. It didn't turn out. So he found you, and within months, he was running like a 5K, a 10K, or something like that?
This is a very responsibility-taking individual, and he turned over every stone that conventional medicine had to offer, and they had the resources to do so. And they finally just said, sir, I'm so sorry. You're not going to be able to fly anymore. I'm sorry about your exercise. That's off the table, too. He was, relatively speaking, fairly young, and kind of sidelined in life, and they really said, we've done all we can do. And so I took him into my practice, and we identified at the causal level an immune dysfunction that was arising out of gut health that he wasn't even aware was part of the picture. We rebuilt his gut, his lungs fixed themselves, and now he's got his entire life back. He will argue that he feels better now than before he got sick.
That's awesome. As a matter of fact, he has a quote that he sent us. It said, Dr. Donnell was the first one to give me hope and a can-do attitude towards my condition. With her, I helped set an intention for complete respiratory restoration. She suggested techniques and supplements for respiratory and gut healing, some of which I'd never heard or read of anywhere else. After a period of a year, I was clearly better. I'm so thankful for Dr. Donnell for her wise counsel. Daniel Pico. So that's very impressive. How do we get started, doctor?
Give my office a call and set up an appointment. I have very rare discounts in my practice, but when I come on Colorado & Company, it's one of those days. So the first visit is usually $350, but it is $199 today for the first 25 callers. Come in, tell me your whole life story. I will build you a plan and not only explain to you how to follow that plan, but what, why, and how these pieces of your plan matter to your body individually so that you're always empowered to make informed decisions about your health going forward. And then I will build a protocol for you and supply you with very targeted physician-level supplements designed to treat at the causal level. This might go on for 6 to 24 months, but it will be a start and finish project, and we will do our level best together so that you can get your life back and your health back.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you. Great way to kick off the show today. You can enjoy the life you were meant to with the naturopathic approach of anti-aging expert Dr. Carrie Louise Donnell. Her $350 consultation fee is discounted to just $199 today for the first 25 callers. So hurry up, grab that phone. Call 303-399-8050. You can also go to her website, which is drdonnell.com, for more information about heart health, bone health, and digestion. Medicare and Medicaid are not accepted. Primetime Media paid for this segment.
I don't walk out of my house without good feet in my shoes. They stop the pain,